I think that's the cool part with Eldora. I mean, obviously some guys don't go through as much bad luck as I have there, but I've also had a lot of good luck there. So in racing, you always think about the good, not as much the bad, because normally in racing there's a lot more bad than good. I mean, out of a series of 100 races or 70 races, and you're lucky enough to win 1 or 5 or 10 or 15, you lose more than you win. So I look forward to the highlights of Eldora, not the downfalls, but I've definitely had my share of bad luck there, and definitely have paid my dues. So when I go there, I definitely feel like I paid my dues and I deserve something good there, but it's definitely a track you got to earn it if you're going to achieve anything there. 2009, when I broke my hand, it hadn't anything to do with any of that. It was, I want to get back in this car and win races. And for me, it was my best year ever with the World of Outlaws. I won 21 Outlaw races. And now we're talking about Donnie Schatz winning 21 Outlaw races. And to me, that was a fulfilling year. And I still finished 3rd in the points. So, I mean, I understand it isn't about anything. I mean, you just go out and do the best job you can. In 2010, going to 4 Crown, me and Myers were right in there at points. I think I had fast time, so I either passed him or we were right within a point of each other. And I was starting on the front row with Sammy Swindell. I get in a crash, have to be lifelined to Dayton. That right there probably put my life in more perspective, that, you know, you just go out and do the best you can, and whatever happens, happens. And just make sure you try and live your life as good as you can, because anything can happen. And then in the following year, same thing. I mean, it wasn't 4 Crown, but it was Kings Royal weekend. Me and Myers were close again, having a good solid season, and just get caught up in a crash. So I think my outlook was already, I understood it better from the previous years. I broke my hand in 09 and came back and won the 2nd race out. So I mean, I knew that if I was going to succeed in the sport, it obviously wasn't going to be handed to me. I was going to have to work for it. I felt like I was doing things to put myself in position to be Donnie Schatz or Jason Myers or Steve Kinzer or Sammy Swindell, win a championship, but it just seemed like it always got taken away. But when that accident happened in the Red Bull car in 2011, that was different. That was more of a life-changing experience, because it was more life-threatening. And it made me realize if I wanted to do this or I didn't. And in time, it took me a while to realize I wanted to do it, and went to Pit Fit. Had Jim Leo help me as much as he could, worked really hard, and first race out we won, went back to Eldora and won again. But I mean, I've been there on both sides. I've won races and lost. I've been close and lost. But I think when you get hurt, you just, you can't ever think you're just never meant to win, or you shouldn't be out here racing. But I mean, I think I thought to myself, first, it was never the championship. It was never anything other than, man, I really miss racing and I want to race. And then once you realize that, then you can go out and win. And then hopefully then you can go out and win a championship. But I think you have to realize how important racing is to you personally before you can go out and do anything. And I think that was the biggest thing I've learned from all my accidents, is I really just missed racing. I wanted to race. So I think that's why I worked so hard to get back out. When I broke my hand, we were racing the next week, couldn't even do my seat belts, and we won our 3rd race back. You know, just all that. I mean, I feel like I work hard at trying to do what I can to make myself better. But out of all of it, the worst part is you feel like you go out and you do the best job you can do, and you work hard on yourself, and you can lose your job, and people don't see anything that you've ever done. It's starting all over again. So for me, I've kind of had to start my whole game plan, whatever I wanted to be an outlaw driver. I had to start all over again this year. And luckily, I found a guy like Dan Motter to come on board, and a guy that actually recognized this kid really wants to race. It's more to it than just winning a championship or winning races or talking on the camera. You have to have the drive to race. And luckily, there's people out there that notice that, and I'm very fortunate that I do have people around me that see that I do work hard and I want to be out here being a World of Outlaw driver. Definitely have to be focused and realize that you can work and do the best job you can, but it doesn't mean it's going to be given to you, and you got to go out and earn it. And it just definitely changed my perspective on how I look at things, and and you just do what you can. I mean, I love racing. I've been grown to be a race car driver. My dad raced for 25 years. I've seen him go through a lot of bad times, seen a lot of his friends go through bad times. So you just live and learn and do the best you can, and hopefully you achieve the goals you want to. And at the end of the day, people realize, hey, that kid or guy wasn't a bad driver and achieved everything he wanted to achieve.